Hello, Patrick Stack here. With what's going on outside the world of sport, what we are doing here can feel a little trivial right now. And as a Sydney sider, I understand how tough this moment has been for a lot of our audience. So if you are feeling a little bit raw, we totally get that today's interview with boxer Anthony Joshua might not be for you. If that's the case, feel free to give us a miss today. Come back later in the week for some more sport.
ABC Listen. Podcasts, radio, news, music and more.
If you do pull this off and respect the judge, obviously he's a legend, is this the biggest upset in boxing history?
For sure. Neck and neck with Tyson and Buster. Right up there. Biggest stage. This will probably be the second most viewed fight in the history of boxing behind me and Tyson. And I'm going to go in there and win and shock the world.
Jake Paul ahead of his bout with Anthony Joshua. When the YouTuber fought 58-year-old champion Mike Tyson last year, the curiosity factor drove an audience of more than 100 million people to watch that bout. This has a similar feel to it, but from a different angle. Joshua is in another league. The 36-year-old's an Olympic champion and has been heavyweight champion of the world. We know money is central to this bout, but how does the Englishman reconcile concerns for his opponent's safety? What of the strange tension of being such an overwhelming favourite and questions about his own credibility? We're talking to him ahead of the bouts. I'm Patrick Stack. This is ABC Sport Daily. Anthony Joshua is one of the finest boxers in the history of the sport. Olympic champion, world champion, you name it. His next fight, Jake Paul, December 19 on Netflix. Anthony, welcome. I think a lot of people are worried about Jake Paul, but not so much about you. Where's the love for you, Anthony? No one seems to be concerned about your safety and well-being.
Exactly. And, you can actually get caught up in the hype and start feeling like, yeah, I'm going to definitely win this and take it easy. But I understand the risks and rewards of this game. I'm not so much focused on the rewards, I focus on the risks, so I'm preparing properly, and I got to care about myself more than anyone else does.
I've read Alexander Usyk say he's worried you will kill Jake Paul, that boxing legend David Haye echoed those sentiments.
And Anthony Joshua, he's not a bodybuilder, he's a prime athlete. He's someone who's dedicated his life to this, he lives it, he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He's a real clean athlete who is going to inflict some horrendous damage to Jake Paul. And I hope we've got a referee in there who's quite compassionate, because if Jake Paul is left, up against the ropes with Anthony Joshua, unloading on him, it could be the end for him, literally. It could be his last day on earth.
I mean, great power, it's great responsibility. Are you scared that you might end Jake Paul's life, Anthony?
A balance. I'm balanced. Of course, you don't want to kill the guy, but you want to kill the guy, and that's where the balance comes into it. It is a blood sport, but you want them to go home to their family.
It is unusual to be so heavily favoured. Does that bring its own kind of jeopardy, a need to beat Jake comprehensively, or risk a level of derision in the boxing community?
Exactly. I really need to give him the respect, give myself the respect, and showcase my talent and my skills, because there's a lot of expectations on my shoulder, being the favourite.
And listen, I'm more than prepared to come back on the radio next Saturday after this thing on Friday night if Jake Paul is successful and say, listen, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Wow. The kid off the Disney Channel did what I just did not fathom coming forward. But if that does take place, mate, something really, really freaky for me has to happen. Anthony Joshua goes in there next Friday and he absolutely takes care of Jake Paul in quick fashion, as you've just alluded to.
Every time someone comes to fight me, they're going to try and perform 10, 20, 30% better.
Self-belief is such a crucial thing in any game, especially what you do. Do you think Jake has more self-belief than anyone you've seen in the game? Does he have even maybe more self-belief than you? Because from what he's done in his body of work to this point, this feels like a jump.
I can't compare to me, but he has self-belief, definitely. And his team have self-belief as well. 100%.
To me, the weight doesn't matter. The weight's not going to make a difference. It's going to be the skills that win this fight, and I believe my skills are better than his, which is a crazy thing to say, but he's a very basic fighter, and he's gotten to where he's at because of the size and because of the power. So the skills are what's going to win this fight, and he's seen that with Usyk when he fought him, and so I believe it's going to be very similar to that.
I've seen you talk about money over the journey, the decision to turn it down and chase Olympic gold, how becoming a billionaire is a kind of benchmark. How much of what you do is driven by the financial outcome versus the desire to execute at the highest possible level?
So there's the risk versus reward element. I want to be in big fights and get big rewards. This is a great opportunity. God willing, I beat Jake Paul. When I go into my next fight, that's going to be a professional boxer that's had a good amateur record. It's going to be a massive fight again because this opportunity with Jake. So
obviously, I think financially is a fight that anyone would take, to be honest. In terms of boxing, I'm not sure. But obviously, after that last fight that unfortunately he lost against Danny Dubois, I think it's probably like a good step up, see with the new team. And I'm expecting probably an early finish if the fight goes ahead. This is a big reward, and then the next fight's going to be big risks. So we're just balancing out the scales.
I've heard you talk about a desire to be normal. I mean, fighting a one-time YouTuber on a global scale for international streamer Netflix for 8 rounds and crazy money. Is that normal for you these days, or is this a period of kind of almost discomfort, tension and discomfort?
I just think like through all the times that I've had it really tough, like a lot of tribulations and trials, good opportunity of always presenting themselves on the back of it. And yeah, this is a great opportunity for me.
When people talk about the money you make, the earnings that you acquire, what kind of emotion does that elicit in you, Anthony? Does it make you proud? Does it make you uncomfortable? Where does it drive you?
Just you can help people, help yourself, and you can help a lot of people as well. So there's like it's a good situation to be in because I can help myself and I can help people as well.
I want to spin back to last year, if you'll indulge me. When you heard that Jake Paul was fighting Mike Tyson, what was your knee-jerk reaction in the moment to hearing that news?
What, like, smart move by him and his team. Mike Tyson's a great name to have on a resume.
Judge David Yakubuchi sees the contest 80-72, while judges Lawrence Cole and Jesse Reyes see it 79-73, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Jake El Gallo Paul!
Then it's that same thing. They're a little bit crazy, but they have belief.
What did you think when you were watching the fight go down?
I didn't watch it live, but I've been watching it recently. Jake Paul was on the back foot. I think Jake Paul wanted to win and also survive.
I think it's fair to say that this fight that you're taking part in is as much a cultural moment as it is a sports moment. Why do you feel as though that might be the case? Or maybe you don't. Perhaps even more so than some of the other bouts that you've had before against much more storied and quality opponents, arguably.
As I say, like, a lot of these guys, they have great ability and people watch them because of their ability. But Jake has great marketability as well.
He has a lot of power punches. If you get caught, of course, he's going to defeat you, but I don't believe he can land those punches. And he lands them on the bigger, slower guys who are sitting right in front of him. Everyone's like, did you see Francis Ngannou, what he did to Francis Ngannou? It's like the guy's feet stuck in mud. He's just sitting there, didn't do anything, and just got nailed with a big-ass shot. So, yeah, if I get hit with that shot, I'm screwed. But I don't believe he's going to hit me with those shots.
So we bring those two worlds together, and I think that's why it's like was it a spectacle? Well, it's going to be a spectacle.
You spoke before about the idea of the weight of expectation when you're coming into a fight like this. I think that inevitably with the craft that you're in, there's a huge tension and pressure in what you do. And I wonder whether when you were coming up, when you were still emerging, before you'd really made your name, whether you loved that pressure. And I wonder whether you still find that you love that pressure and you still see the joy and the fun in what you do? Or is it just too much tension, too much jeopardy to bring that mindset to it?
Good question. There's definitely more pressure, but it just drives us to work harder, if I'm honest, and get better. Like, there's no excuses. There's no excuses but to improve. That's the only way to deal with pressure.
Andy Ruiz smiles as an ask from Anthony Joshua, who will be celebrating at the final bell. What a performance! Under pressure must be that the belts are coming back to Britain.
In the sense, if I want to do it, get by. If you don't want to do it, take it easy and get beat. So, like, the pressure is good because I'm living up to it.
It's really interesting to me that you are working with Usyk's camp in Spain. Can you tell me, what has that setup given you that your previous configuration maybe wasn't delivering you?
Like a good system. One team, one dream. Everyone's together.
I like that. How does the one team and the one dream plan to take down Jake Paul technically?
In boxing, you break your opponent down. You make his brain overthink. You make his heart work really hard. And then he starts making mistakes. And then I'm going to punish him, break him down.
And down he goes again, left hand again. And Victor Loughlin's got to put an end to this. This is getting ugly here, and it's done. Anthony Joshua does it again. This time it was left hand happy.
Anthony, you sound genuinely excited for this bout. Can you remember the last time you were this excited to get in the ring against an opponent?
You know, my mind is back to being focused on boxing, and I understand what I have to do. I understand what's going to happen, and my mind's clear. I watched a fight with Pat McCormack recently on this show in Monaco today, and the guy said, it doesn't matter how fit you are, if your mind's not clear, you can't perform. So I'm looking forward to performing because my mind's clear again.
Anthony Joshua, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. God bless.
Headlines. Like all of us, Pat Cummins has been rocked by the scenes out of Bondi. The Australian cricket captain spoke about that issue ahead of the Adelaide Test.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, like most other Aussies and people around the world, just horrified watching on. Just put the kids to bed and kind of flicked on the news as that was coming through. And yeah, me and my wife were kind of watching in disbelief. It's a place that's just around the corner from where we live, and we take the kids there all the time. So it's hit home pretty hard.
From a cricket perspective, we have the team list for Australia. Usman Khawaja has been overlooked for the third test in Adelaide. The opener had recovered from the back issue that kept him out of the Gabba clash, but he's not going to return to the 11. Josh Inglis holds his place. Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyon will return. That is 871 test wickets into the lineup. Brendan Doggett and Michael Neser are out as a consequence. Tough for the Queenslander after 5 wickets in the second dig in Brisbane. The question on everyone's lips surrounds Usman Khawaja's future. You wonder if he might struggle to add to his 85 test appearances. Here was Cummins' reply to that issue.
One of Uzi's great strengths is he's scored runs at the top, he's scored runs in the middle, so he's in the squad. We didn't think he'd be good enough to come straight in, then he wouldn't be here in the squad. So absolutely, I can see a path back at some point if needed.
A New South Wales cricketer, meanwhile, has been permanently banned from playing after allegations he sent nude photos of himself to at least one young teammate at his Grey Cricket Club. The player, who cannot be named for legal reasons, has represented the New South Wales Blues and Sheffield Shield and played for a T20 franchise team. Oliver Wamarans has been selected pick number 1 in the AFLW draft, with Richmond grabbing the talented forward. It's a high conviction play because the Tigers actually traded to get pick 1 from the Gold Coast Suns. I'm Patrick Stack. This is ABC Sport Daily, produced by Poppy Penny. Thanks to Netflix, TalkSport, Jake Paul's YouTube, the BBC and Sky Sport for the extra audio used in this episode.
Discover more great ABC podcasts, live radio and exclusives on the ABC Listen app.